built this country and made this country great. And we're all together, and we want to get along with everybody. But when they have organized, professionally staged wise guys, we've got to fight back. We've got to fight back.
All right, you could hear the crowd there very fired up about Donald Trump, but also in the crowd, we were able to see right there, it appears that something was thrown at Donald Trump, his security hustling over to try to protect him. We're still trying to find out details of what happened. Our Phil Mattingly and Mark Preston were there at that hangar earlier as well, and describing there were other disruptions. There were some protesters, some who simply got noisy and were escorted out. But as far as we know, no other incidents. But you did just see that moment right there, something apparently thrown. We don't know what. And you see his security very quickly getting to his side to protect him for the unknown there. All right, let's bring in our reporters Phil Mattingly, who is following the Trump campaign, and Jeff Zeleny, who was talking with Trump protesters last night in Chicago. So, Phil, let me begin with you, because there were a few disruptions, if that's a good way of putting it. There were some people who were escorted out. But what more do we know about that moment of what appeared to be something thrown at Donald Trump?
There was a jarring moment. It wasn't just something that might have been thrown at him. There was actually a person that headed towards the stage, kind of rushed towards Donald Trump. That's when you saw the Secret Service collapse around Donald Trump, as they're trained to do. Kind of a jarring moment for somebody that's covered the White House or covered a lot of political candidates. That's something you don't see very often on the trail. What I think was most interesting is that was the opposite of what we saw for the majority of the rally. Compared to last night, it was very calm. It was a very enthusiastic crowd. There were a few pockets of protests who were quietly led away with little disruption at all. But there was that one moment where it looked like somebody was in the process of rushing the stage that caused that reaction by Trump's security. Trump gave a thumbs up afterwards and then joked around that he could have taken the person himself, but it was a lot easier to just let the cops do it. So overall, a different tone and tenor at this rally, save for that one moment towards the end, which I think was a little bit jarring for everybody that was watching.
All right, but Donald Trump not at all backing off of any of the rhetoric. His composure still very confident there in Vandalia. And so, Jeff, last night in Chicago, a very different scene. Donald Trump never even made it to the stage there. That event had to be postponed because of the supporters who gathered for Donald Trump